Although involving the exact same personnel in both the attack and the defence with regard to the main body of the strike play, as we'll come on to, this move intelligently initiates with the intuitive use of a forward pod off 9 as an innovative additional piece of deception due to the move being ran in open play. Whereas in a standard first phase playoff 12, we would usually, ideally, see the ball travel across the face of 10, stood in a realistic position to receive the ball as the first receiver. As an added piece of deception, in an attempt to aid our attacking 12 attack his opposite man, ruling out the defensive 10 from contributing to the defence in the equation, which is the main purpose and objective of the playoff 12, in this open play example, we instead see that role similarly being facilitated by this forward pod instead. Ezekwe, but more so Waller, are both stood in incredibly realistic positions to receive the ball as first receivers, tying in the inside defence around the breakdown. This, as well as Bigger also being a realistic option of a first receiver, also deceives Atkinson and forces him to sensibly mark them first, as they are the more apparent threat, before chronologically progressing onto the next threat once the ball moves past them and they are no longer a viable threatening recipient of the initial pass. Due to this added deception, in combination with Hutchinson's initial wide positioning and Mitchell's fast pass, Atkinson does not have the time to cover the space required to reach the attacking inside centre, and thus Saints have successfully eliminated him as a defender and ruled him out from contributing to the defence in the equation, achieving the primary aim of the playoff 12, securing the attack their first additional number as Hutchinson proceeds to attack his opposite man, Lloyd, defending at inside centre. However, Saints then go on to make proceedings incredibly difficult for themselves. Francis isn't the most threatening ball-carrying option. His presence alone doesn't attract defenders like Lawrence or Tuolangi, say. But even so, what is even more detrimentally unconvincing about his overs line isn't his lack of size and carrying threat, it is the positioning and timing of his run. Due to his depth, he has left too much distance to cover to engage the defence before Hutchinson reaches the line and is forced to release the pass. Because of how far away he is, Thorley is less engaged by the ineffective overs line of Francis. He isn't sat down on his haunches bracing to make the tackle, nor has he been moved any further away from Bigger, putting him in the prime position to swim off and reach the attacking 10 on the unders line once Hutchinson is forced to release the pass as he reaches the defensive line. Bigger then makes matters even worse by not fully taking the ball to the line himself, again leaving Thorley not fully engaged, allowing him to swim off again, this time onto Proctor on the shoulder ball. Just in this one passage of play, Saints have killed a two-man overlap, enabling Thorley to cover 3 attackers. However, due to how successful the initial playoff 12 shape was, ruling out Atkinson from contributing to the defence in the equation, and then with the additional attacker on the shoulder ball, how poorly Saints maintained those 2 additional numbers with such an ineffective overs line in their narrow unders and overs shape pales to no particular significance, as there still remains a 3-on-2 that Proctor on the shoulder ball, Furbank on the long ball, and Nayaravoro on the double long ball just about finish off. All thanks to the effective play-off 12 shape and the shoulder ball, giving them 2 additional numbers that they then unnecessarily, carelessly burn. If Francis's overs line was more effective and convincing, standing flatter to the line so he becomes and remains a threat, only moving beyond Hutchinson just as the inside centre releases the pass, as this is when he no longer holds a threatening position anyway, as he would no longer be able to receive the pass, being in front of the ball. Thorley would be more successfully engaged by Francis, forcing him to stay on the overs line for longer as the primary threat, until either he moves past the ball, or in this case until Hutchinson releases the pass at the line, giving him a greater distance to recover to bigger and less time to do it. This more effective overs line would maintain the additional numbers that the initial play of 12 created, and the shoulder ball added onto, turning the 3-on-2 into a 4-on-1. Or, alternatively, even after the poor overs line from Francis, freeing up the lane for Thorley to move forward, if Biggar took the ball to the line a little better himself before giving the pass, he would do the job that Francis could not, tying in Thorley, preventing him from swimming off again onto Proctor on the shoulder ball, leaving the attacking side with a 3-on-1 rather than a 3-on-2. This clearly demonstrates how underpinning all attacking strike moves are fundamental, core, basic skills. Catch pass, the ability to take the ball to the line, and an effective unders and overs shape. The effectiveness of the play off 12 and the addition of the shoulder ball get Saints out of jail here. But if they weren't so effective in removing Atkinson from the defence initially, or didn't have the additional shoulder ball option of Proctor, they wouldn't have been so fortunate with how they got away with such poor execution of basic skills.
Don't need to use his power to walk that one in.
Yeah, just looking back at it, and it's really good vision from both Hutchinson. If you watch him, he's shouting, he wants the ball, he shows, look, it's on. And the pass from Mitchell's absolutely spot on in front of two forwards, and then it's just through the hands. It's a good pick up on the end on the outside. He's a long way away from Furbank. He takes it off his shoelaces to go over.